Pioneer fans, Pioneer men's varsity hockey is live and on the air. We are live here at Yost Ice Arena, where it is Pioneer men's hockey taking on Chelsea today. And lucky to be here and ready to broadcast, taking a look at these two teams. Pioneer is 6-3 on the season. Chelsea is 2-5. Taking a look at Pioneer, they started off regular season back on November 5th with a win over Jackson 5-3. Then they played at Divine Child. Divine Child beat them 6-2. Saline beat them 5-2. That back on the 26th of November. Then they played Lenawee over at Arrington Ice Arena back on November 30th. That was a 10-0 win. They beat Riverview Cabrini 12-4 back on December 1st. On December 3rd, over at Yak Ice Arena, they beat Wyandotte 5-3. They fell to Gibraltar Carlson, that over at Kennedy Ice Arena 2-1. They then beat Skyline on the Gillick tournament. That was a 8-2 win, and they beat Father Gabriel Richard 4-1. Both excellent games there. I was able to watch a little bit. Not able to broadcast from the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, but I did get the package so I could watch the team and try and keep up with them as I miss getting to broadcast this team. I love everyone we get to broadcast, but this is the team I started with, so it has a special spot in my heart. Taking a look at the top point getters for Pioneer, 24 points for Max Committon. He has 15 goals and 9 assists. McDonald has 15 points on 8 goals and 7 assists for the number 2 spot. Taking a look, Mahone has 11 points on 3 goals and 8 assists. Brendan Stone at the number 4 spot. He has 5 points on 8 goals and 3 assists. And then, or 8 points, yeah, on 3 goals and 5 assists. Then also Sean Stone has 8 points on 1 goal and 7 assists. So that's the top 5 point getters for Pioneer. It has been mainly Houston. Between the pipes, he has played 7 games, 4 wins, 2 losses. Goals against the average, you never know how many shots and things like that are kept. So the saves, I'm not sure. It says 114 saves, but goals against the average 2.46, save percentage of .877. Beach has played 2 games. He has won 1, lost 1. He has a 6.67 goals against average. And Meadow has played 60 minutes in a game. He did not allow a goal, so a 0.00 goals against out there and 100% save percentage. So a little bit about the Pioneer team as they are going to come out here in just about a minute. Taking a look at Chelsea. Chelsea started off the season back on the 15th of November versus the Midland Dow Chargers, and that was a Midland Dow won that one 7-1. They then played Kalamazoo United, and that was a 4-2 win by Kalamazoo. They then played the East Side Stars over at Optimus Arena. East Side Stars won that one 4-3. They then won 2 in a row as they beat the M1 Unified Griffins over at the Royal Oak West Rink. That was a 6-4 win. And then they had a shutout 3-0 over Walled Lake United, that at the Chelsea Ice Rink there. So that's their wins. And then the 2 losses they played, Detroit Country Day. It's always a really tough game there. Detroit Country Day won that one 6-2. And then Divine Child, they played Divine Child, and that was a 10-4 win by Divine Child. So that's a game that both Pioneer and Chelsea have in common. Pioneer lost 6-2, and Chelsea lost 10-4. So take that for whatever that may be. As we're getting ready to go here, some scratches for today's game. Porter's not playing for Chelsea, and Pearl is out, as well as Jacob Cochran and Sobachowski, as well as Turner. So those are the scratches for Chelsea. Scratches for Pioneer. Jof is out. Amaro is out. McCarthy is a healthy scratch. And those are the scratches there for Pioneer. As we are getting ready, Pioneer about to come out onto the ice. They are the home team on this game, and very cool to get to see Pioneer men's hockey here. We get to broadcast from here a fair amount with Michigan women's hockey, but it's fun to be here for Pioneer. As they're putting up the nice posters, the posters of each of the Pioneer seniors out there. So they're putting those up in the far corner to our left. So that's kind of cool. Most of the folks are going to be seated right underneath us. As soon as they come on, looks like they're going to have an 8-minute warm-up that we'll have here as the final practice for the folks before us are leaving, and they'll get an ice resurface. And then the teams will come out and skate around. As we'll take a quick break here. We'll play a few messages from the MHSAA, and then we will be back with the opening puck drop and starting lineups here. You are watching Pioneer Men's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the specialized sports parent support group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem is, they'd be really funny if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSAA website at mhsaa.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Why do high school sports really exist? For 99% of the participants, it's the biggest stage they will ever play on, and it provides the most educational value, teaching sportsmanship, ethics, integrity, hard work, and teamwork. It's about playing with local friends against local rivals and creating lifetime relationships. They build community spirit, and they're worthy of your continued support. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform, why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You're hearing it. The message is getting through to parents. Multi-sport athletes get injured less. Multi-sport athletes become better in their primary sport in the long run. And even though it's not why we play our games, multi-sport athletes are now getting recruited more than specialized athletes. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You have to wonder sometimes how folks in the stands, so far removed from the action and who have probably never had any training, actually think they can see the play and apply the rules better than the officials assigned to a game. If you're that good, please register immediately at MHSAA.com. We need more officials on the playing surface and fewer in the stands. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Think of a high school game as a 4-lane highway. Coaches, players, officials, and spectators, each with their own lane. Sportsmanship depends on everyone not crossing over the line. Fans keep it between the lines when they cheer positively for their team. So don't cause an accident. Stay in your lane and let the coaches, players, and officials do their jobs. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Power Ratings will be used this year in soccer, basketball, and boys lacrosse to seed the district tournament in those sports, and you can follow along. Visit your school's page on the MHSAA website to see how your team is faring, and you can look at statewide lists as well. And if you see your team is missing a score, submit it. Learn more about the Michigan Power Rankings at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Again, we are live here at Yost Ice Arena, where it is Pioneer men's hockey taking on the Chelsea Bulldogs, and they're just about done resurfacing the ice. We'll have an 8-minute warm-up coming up here, as we are very excited to get a chance to broadcast Pioneer hockey. We talked about what they have done. Take a look at 6-3 on the season. Games coming up. They actually have a game coming up on December 20th. So they have one more game before the end of the year. So if you have an opportunity, get down on the 20th. That's going to be a 5 p.m. game. That's going to be over at the Big B Ice Cube versus Wyandotte Roosevelt. That's a team that I believe Pioneer played earlier. And that was at Wyandotte Roosevelt, and Pioneer had won that one 5-3. So that's the last game in this calendar year. Again, that's December 20th at 5 p.m. And then after the year, they have on January 5th, they have a game at Allen Park Cabrini. That's a 8:30 p.m. game. And then on the 9th, they will have a game versus Dexter. That should be at the Bigby Ice Cube. That's 5 p.m. on January 9th. On the 10th, they host Grosse Ile. That's a 5 p.m. game at Bigby. On the 16th, they host Temperance Bedford. That is a 8 p.m. game on the 16th. On the 17th, they're at Brownstown Woodhaven, 3:40 p.m. game. And then on the 19th, they will finish off the Gillick. They had the original game versus Huron, and we had that ice and just kind of miserable roads out there. So that game got canceled. Pioneer right now, they've beaten Father Gabriel Richard. They've beaten Skyline. So in order to secure the Gillick Cup, they will be taking on Huron 3 p.m. That's at the Ice Cube on the 19th. On the January 30th, they will be over at Temperance Bedford at the Toledo Ice House. That's a 9:30 p.m. game. And then they will be playing Huron. They'll be the away team, but that'll be at Bigby on the 31st. So a couple games versus Huron, kind of close, the 19th and the 31st. So that is the upcoming schedule for Pioneer. Chelsea out there now. Chelsea is in their dark jerseys out there. So they have the dark sweaters with the Bulldogs going diagonally across the front. Those are black jerseys with their kind of goldish, kind of almost bronze trim on there. They have the numbers on the sleeves and on the back. And so Chelsea out there, they're getting ready. Here comes Pioneer in their home whites with the purple across the shoulders. They have the Pioneer logo on the front, numbers on the sleeves and on the back. Pioneer actually has their names on the back, which is pretty darn cool. They have the dark shorts, the white socks, and the dark helmets. Chelsea has those dark helmets as well. They have kind of like a gold stripe going down the middle, very similar to some other football helmets out there. So Pioneer is the home team. They will be going from left to right here in the opening period, as we have about 7 minutes counting down until we should have puck drop. I'm not sure if they're going to resurface it between the warm-ups and the opening puck drop. I don't think so, but we will see. Always a little bit of a wait and see as you're doing the high school games, but it's really nice to be here. There's still plenty of great seats here at Yost, so if you haven't been to Yost in a while, it's a gorgeous place to watch some hockey, and we're super glad to be here and have these two teams playing. We will have Pioneer men's basketball tomorrow. They had games versus Bedford yesterday, and the JV team lost, but the varsity team won. They had a heck of a game last night. And then we will have Pioneer men's hockey versus East Point. That is going to be tomorrow. The JV team will be on at 5:30. The varsity team will be around 7 o'clock. We'll have Coach Ahrens with us on that one on the color commentary. And then on Friday, Pioneer women's basketball will take on Saline. And we'll have those two games at 5:30 for the JV for women's, and at 7 o'clock-ish will be the varsity squads, men's versus women's. Then we will have a Pioneer women's hockey game that will broadcast on Saturday. If I pull up my list, I think that's a 7 p.m. game. Just trying to remember. That's going to be versus Greater Flint United. That's going to be 7 p.m. at Vets. So that's something that we're excited to get one more game before we have a little break. So then we'll have a break from the 21st all the way through the 5th, where we will have Pioneer men's basketball versus Lincoln at 7 p.m. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get to do the JV there, the day job. It's hard to get out, get over, to set up at 4:30 for a 5:30 game, but do my best to make that happen. So again, just a couple more games this week. Again, tomorrow, JV and varsity men's basketball 5:30 and 7 o'clock versus East Point. That at the Pioneer Gym. Friday 5:30 and 7 p.m. versus the women's basketball versus Saline, JV and varsity, and then Saturday Pioneer women's hockey versus Greater Flint United, which is a new team in the Michigan Girls High School Hockey League. So excited to get to see them. So happy to have you join us as we have about 4 minutes counting down. Taking a look right now. It does look like it's Josh Cochran who's getting some of the reps there for goal for Chelsea, although they do have Sam Alvey also suited up, so they have 2 goalies suited up there. Pioneer taking a look. Right now, Meadows is taking the shots, but Houston is also in his setup as the goalie. So we'll see exactly who starts at goal for Pioneer. Again, as we mentioned earlier, there are a few scratches. There are 5 scratches for Chelsea. Porter, number 8, is not playing. Peel, number 12, is not playing. Number 21, Jacob Cochran, is not playing. Number 24, Sopachowski, is not playing. And number 86, Turner, is a scratch as well. Again, we had a couple for Pioneer. That would be Jof, who's dealing with an injury, number 16. Amaro, number 19, who's dealing with an injury. And McCarthy is the 4th goalie, so they only suited up 3 goalies. So he is a healthy scratch, so I do see Beach out there as well. So you have Houston, Meadows, and Beach all in their goalie attire. As we are counting down, we have about 2 minutes and 34 seconds left, so we're going to play a little bit of music here, and then we will be right back with your starting lineups and your opening puck drop. They are just finishing up, getting warmed up here. Again, Pioneer going left to right here in the opening period. Chelsea going right to left. Pioneer in their home white jersey, Chelsea in their black jerseys with that gold around it out there. Taking a look at the benches, Pioneer is going to be in the Michigan bench. That's just to the left. Chelsea on the visitors bench to the right. Got a couple Chelsea students right behind the bench. So we have the whistle there. They'll clean up the pucks, and we will have the starting lineups. And we'll have puck drop coming up mere moments away. Very grateful for you joining us today. And we're always happy to be in this building. Good time to, never a bad time to come up to Yost and see a game. My director today, Mike Butler, might not think so. He's a Spartan fan, but he is willing to help us out. So he's been awesome in helping us out in here. So 17 minutes up on the clock. Our camera person today is Christina Wiseman. Again, Mike Butler, our director. My name is Mark Wiseman. I'll be your play-by-play. As Chelsea lined up to our right, Pioneer getting everything cleaned up, and they're gathered around the goal to the left. We do have a 3-official system, 2 officials and linesmen, as opposed to if you watch our college broadcast, typically Michigan Women's Hockey will have 4 officials. As Pioneer gets lined up, they'll have just the starters out on the goal line to the left. Chelsea has the entire team out to the right. And we're about to have the starting lineups. Looks like we have a good crowd underneath us. Still, you got time to come on down and check it out. Still plenty of great seats here at Yost.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Yost Arena for tonight's game between the visiting Chelsea Bulldogs and the home team Ann Arbor Pioneer. The starting lineups for tonight's game. Starting for Chelsea, number 2, Sam Perry. Number 9, Issel.
So that was Perry and now Issel.
Number 15, Brooke Smith.
Smith comes out.
Number 16, Brady Crawford.
Crawford starting.
And number 34, Jacob Brandt.
And Brandt.
In goal for Chelsea, number 1, Josh Corcoran.
Josh Corcoran is the goalie for Chelsea. Tom Coyne is the coach for Chelsea. Now for your Pioneer players. Camutin skates out to the blue line. Leads all scores for Pioneer. Powers comes out. McDonald skates to the blue line starting for Pioneer. Garcia, one of the blue liners for Pioneer. Mahan comes out. And Houston is the goalie. And honor America, ladies and gentlemen, the playing of the national anthem. Looks like that recording had a little fireworks at the end there. I got a little worried that I was hitting my mic somehow, so It's a fun recording of the national anthem there just to keep me on my toes. It's always fun. You get different recordings of the national anthem at the different high school games. Occasionally actually have someone sing it. Pioneer gathered around their bench. Chelsea gathered around the goal to the right. Houston skates down to our left. He gets settled there. Josh Cochran will go down to the right. Pioneer starters come on out. The last couple games I watched of the Gillick tournament versus Father Gabriel Shard and Skyline Pioneer scored early as their offense came out humming. We'll see if they can do the same thing versus a bit of a depleted Chelsea roster with 5 scratches there. Commutin ready to take the face off. Brant on the other side as we're about to get going. Pioneer versus Chelsea. That puck comes into the Chelsea zone. Racing back to get it is Crawford. He goes back behind Crawford. Or back. There's a shot as that one saved by Cochran. As that puck goes. Coming down the far boards, trying to keep it in is McDonald. That back into the far corner. Commutin trying to get to it. Crawford trying to pull that away. Is Commutin. That puck all the way down into the Pioneer zone. That will be icing. That'll head right back into the Chelsea end. 16:34 left to go here in the first, scoreless. Face-off is going to be to Cochran's right. Nope, they'll move it over to Cochran's left in the near face-off circle. Commutin in to take the face-off. Looks like it is still Brant on the other side. McDonald trying to get that puck right into the slot. That comes all the way back into the neutral zone. Racing back. Mahone has it. Mahone all the way across to Garcia. Garcia sends it into the neutral zone. That tip back deep into the Chelsea end. Cochran will stop it there and cover it up. Face off back in the Chelsea end at 16:16 left to go here in the first, scoreless so far from Yost Ice Arena. Face off again in the near face off circle. That to Cochran's left. Brendan Stone takes the face off into the near corner. Trying to keep it in is Connor Edwards. Connor Edwards on that near circle. Now that tipped away. There's a blast by German from the near point. That comes all the way in along the far boards. Bringing it ahead is Crawford. Crawford dumps it deep into the Pioneer zone, into the near corner. Brant has it there. In along the end boards, down the near boards. Connor Edwards has it, sends it right back behind his goal. Connor Edwards gets it back into the near corner. Here comes Peters. Peters feeds it down the near boards of the neutral zone. Brendan Stone comes in. Brendan Stone has that tipped into the near corner. Grabbing it back over there is Gagnon. And down the near boards. Puck trying to hold it in. Trying to hold it in there is Brendan Stone. Now right back behind the goal into the far corner. Battle there. That picked up by First. First trying to get it out of the zone. German trying to chip it to hold it in. Big battle just outside of the far circle. Still trying to poke that away. Brendan Stone in there. Now coming across with it. German with a shot as Cochran with the save. Face-off is going to be in the Chelsea end. I'll do my best not to say Michigan and say Pioneer because we do typically the team we're broadcasting here, it's the Michigan women's hockey team. Right out in front, trying to get it. Cochran steers it away. Back to Andrianopoulos at the far point. He takes a shot that's deflected outside the near circle. Gruber sends it right back behind. Miller has it behind the goal underneath the far circle. Back to Andrianopoulos at the far point. He takes a shot as that steered into the near corner by Cochran. Outside the near circle. And puck into the near corner. Sent all the way around by Perry. Andrianopoulos trying to get to it. Miller holds it in. As that puck now back into the neutral zone. Pioneer feeds it into the Chelsea end. And picked up and fired ahead by Gagnon. All the way back. That's going to be icing. So that'll come back into the Chelsea zone. In high school hockey, you can change on an icing. You cannot in college. Face-off in the near face-off circle, Commuton in to take the face-off versus Brandt. We're going to be battling a lot of the day in the face-off circle. Puck into the near corner. Trying to pull that away. Brandt feeds it around the near boards. McDonald trying to pull that back. Now here comes Chelsea racing down the boards. That chipped by Crawford. Sent right back into the neutral zone by Pioneer. Gathered up by McCullough-Reist. And sent down the far boards. Now chipped right back over to Crawford. Crawford in along the near boards right in front of the scorer's table. Fired all the way around outside the far circle. Picked up there. Brandt sends it right back behind the Pioneer goal. Is that over? Mahon had it. Mahone sends it out into the neutral zone. Down along the near boards. Crawford with it. Crawford fires it right back deep into the Pioneer end. Gathered up by Powers at the far point. Over to Commuton. Commuton over center ice. Commuton. There's going to be a penalty upcoming to Chelsea. That's going to be a tripping call as they held up Commuton there. At 13:32. Penalty to Chelsea. And it looks like first goes into the box. On a tripping call. So Pioneer will have the first power play of the game. Face off again to Cochran's left in the near face-off circle. German in there to take the face-off. Nope, that's going to be McDonald. On the other side is Barrett. That comes back, top of the near circle, fired all the way back deep into the Pioneer zone. Mahone has it back behind his own goal, coming down the far boards. Mahone trying to avoid Gagnon. And down the far boards over center ice. Mahone into the zone, onto the far circle, stops there, feeds it back to the far point. As German gets it back to Mahone. Mahone comes high slot, now sent top of the far circle. Over to German. At the near point, German fires it. That ricochets off the far wall. Powers trying to send it back to Mahone. Mahone back to German, top of the near circle. There's a blast. That's saved over to the far circle. Mahone trying to get a shot away. Puck wouldn't settle down. There's a wide angle shot off the side of the net. Powers trying to get to it. Right back behind the goal. Sent into the far corner. Brendan Stone has it there. Feeds it back to the far point. Blast there by McDonald and a save by Cochran. 1 minute, 3 seconds left to go in the power play for Pioneer. 12:35 left to go here in the first. Face-off in the far face-off circle. German in to take the face-off. Brandt on the other side. That fed all the way down the far boards. That's going to go back deep into the Pioneer zone. That cleared. Houston feeds it down the far boards. Picked up by McDonald. McDonald trying to bring it ahead over his own blue line. McDonald over center ice. McDonald gains his own onto the far circle. Shot there, got deflected out in front. High slot. Mahone has it. Mahone back over to German at the near point. German, top of the near circle. That blast went off of his skate. Crawford down. That couldn't have felt good. Right there, Commuton with a shot on that one. Just goes wide back to the far point. Mahone trying to hold it in, but that slips out. 25 seconds left to go in the power play. McDonald at his own blue line. Now over center ice. McDonald gains the zone. McDonald in the slot. That puck loose. Held in by Mahone. Now sent down the near boards. 13 seconds left in the power play for Pioneer. And that's going to be a whistle and offside the call. Oh, that's going to be all the way back into the Pioneer zone. It's a high stick. So, high stick call, I believe, puts it back into the Pioneer zone as Miller to take the face off. That's Barron on the other side. In along the far boards, Pioneer feeds it to the blue line. Trying to bring ahead is Gruber, tipped ahead by Miller. Gruber has it, high slot, poked right back into the neutral zone. Pioneer grabs it, Garcia trying to get to it, as that's going to be a whistle. That's going to bring it back into the Pioneer. That's going to bring it back into Chelsea, and I believe that's a Chelsea penalty. As the penalty box open for Chelsea. So that looked like a slashing call, so into the box. It's going to be Rants into the box at 11:22. Pioneer back on the power play. So that puck right back behind. Right back to the far point, held in there. Now over to Kresge. Kresge gets it top of the far circle to Mahone takes it top of the far circle, trying to get through this slot. Mahone firing it. There's a shot by Ryan Edwards. That fired all the way down on edge. Good stop by Cochran. Kresge chases it back. Now bringing it ahead. Here comes Kresge down the far boards. Drop pass. That picked up and along the near boards. Bringing that ahead is Miller. Miller makes a nifty move. Puck into the slot. Now fired all the way down the ice. Kresge will retreat to his blue line to pick it up. Kresge in along the near boards. And trying to make a move right over the block. M feeds it down the far boards. That chip back into the Pioneer zone. Issel has it in the far corner for Chelsea. Issel right back behind the Pioneer goal. And pulled away. And down the near boards. Kresge has it. Avoids some pressure by Chelsea. Feeds it down the far boards. Brandt has it and fires it all the way down into the Pioneer end. 53 seconds left to go on the power play. German picks it up back behind his own goal. 10-11 left to go here in the first. German racing down the far boards. That chipped right in front of the Pioneer bench. Pioneer has it. McDonald over center. McDonald feeds it deep into the Chelsea zone. As McCullough Reist tries to get it out. Held in by Pioneer at the far point. Now in along the near boards. That'll be sent all the way back into the Pioneer end. 26 seconds left on the power play. Mahone has it back behind his own goal. Mahone coming down the far boards over his own blue line. Mahone feeds it ahead. Gets it back from Commuting. Top of the far circle. Mahone shot there. Save as that comes in along the near boards. German has it at the near point. German feeding it all the way across. Mahone in along the far boards. Comes back to the far point. Mahone. Top of the near circle for German. German takes a blast, and that's a save by Cochran. 9:19 left to go here in the first. Penalty has expired. Chelsea back to full strength. They had their goalie Scott in the penalty box, I think, just opening the door for him over there. Face off of the near face-off circle. That to Cochran's left. Miller. And send all the way around. Kresge stops it at the far point. Deflected in along the far boards by Perry. Now right back behind the Chelsea goal. Ryan Edwards trying to feed it out in front. That puck taken right back behind. And coming down the near boards. Gagden has it at his own blue line. Tipped away from him. Now Perry feeds it down the far boards. And brought into the zone. Battle for it. Kresge comes away with it into the far corner as he was battling Rants. Now Ryan Edwards, that fed ahead. Miller has it. Miller right over center ice. Miller feeds it all the way back deep into the near corner. Right back behind Josh Cochran into the near corner. Trying to pull that away is Ryan Edwards. That puck right back behind the Chelsea goal. Down the far boards. Rants feeds it into the neutral zone. Picked up. Gagnon has it into the Pioneer zone. Gagnon taking off the puck outside the near circle. Into the near corner it goes. Connor Edwards feeds it into the far corner. As Kresge trying to poke it ahead. Battle for it outside the far circle into the far corner. Brandt has it. Right back behind Houston into the near corner. Here comes Connor Edwards. Connor Edwards trying to drive it down the near boards. Picked up by Smith. Smith moves it over. Rant's trying to get a shot away. Kresge with a great defensive play. Puck down the far boards. Moved back into center ice. Crawford fires it all the way back deep into the Pioneer zone. It's going to be a whistle. That might have been, he just might have been on the wrong side of center ice because that'll come right back into the Chelsea end. 7:53 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far between these two squads. Face off in the near face off circle. That is to Cochran's left. Brendan Stone in there versus Brandt. Now Brendan Stone will leave and German will come in to take the face off for Pioneer. That one back to the near point. Mahan with a shot and a score! Pioneer puts it in to get the 1-0 lead. As that goal by German, he has the first goal for Pioneer, Jack German. We've called a German goal quite a few times in this building with his sisters with the Michigan women's hockey team, so very fun to get to see him play here. So goal for Pioneer, German gives them the 1-0 lead. Both Katie and Izzy now have graduated. Coming down the far boards, here comes Pioneer trying to feed it over to German, that deflects off the near corner. Back to the near point, Mahone fires it into the near corner, outside the near circle. German trying to peel that out, tip back to the blue line, but held in. Now grabbed, Issel heading the other direction. Andrianopoulos trying to get back behind him. Now Mahone out there is that, right back behind. Good job to get in front of him by Mahone. That puck right at the far point. Chelsea able to hold it in as that was Barrett. There's a shot that goes through the crease. Right back to the near point. Crawford able to hold it in, putting it into the near corner. Puck right back behind Houston. Andrianopoulos goes to the far corner. Issel fires it off the side of the net. And all the way back to the near point. Crawford holds it in there, back into the near corner. It's Barrett trying to get to it. Back into the near corner is Issel. Issel puts it outside the near circle. Big battle there by a quartet of people. Brendan Stone trying to get it out there. Gagnon. German trying to pull that back. That puck put right back behind the Pioneer goal. Andrianopoulos has it there off the side of the net. There's a blast by Gagnon. And outside the near circle, Barron puts it back into the near corner. There's a shot and a save by Houston. 6:15 left to go here in the first. German with the opening goal of the game. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That to Houston's right. Commuting in to take the face-off. Barrett on the other side. All the way around the far boards. McDonald has it there. McDonald underneath the far circle. McDonald back behind his own goal. Ricochets it off the near boards over to Powers. Powers trying to get it back to McDonald. Now down the far boards. Garcia feeds it ahead. McDonald brings it into the zone. That into the far corner of the Chelsea end. Perry trying to get to it. And right back behind. Trying to feed it out in front is Powers. That picked up and bounced right into the slot. Powers trying to keep it in. That puck right back into the neutral zone. Connor Edwards has it in his own end. Top of the near circle, Connor Edwards. Starts the Pioneer rush. Feeds it ahead to McDonald. McDonald gains his own. Top of the far circle. That shot got blocked off of a Chelsea skate. McDonald goes back, fires it, trying to get it out in front. Then steered away. Commuting now onto the far circle. Commuting with a blast. That one just goes high. Puck outside the near circle trying to get to it. That'll go all the way down the ice. Gathered up as Garcia moves it over. Now Connor Edwards back on his own zone. Fed down the far boards as Pioneer gets a line change. Garcia feeds it in deep. Powers racing back to get it. Perry into the far corner for Chelsea. Perry lifts it high down the ice. Racing back to get to it is Kresge. Kresge has it in the near corner. Stops right back behind his own goal. Now underneath the far circle. Kresge feeding it ahead. And that will be icing, looking for a tip out there. And just Pioneer couldn't get a stick on it, so they'll come back into the Pioneer zone. 4:44 left to go here in the first at Yost Ice Arena. Pioneer versus Chelsea. Pioneer has the 1-0 lead. Face off to Houston's left in the far face off circle. Miller in to take the face off. Barrett on the other side. Puck dropped into the far corner. Kresge trying to feed it, held in at the far point, but that back into the neutral zone. Crawford moves it back deep into the Pioneer end. Kresge chasing that in along the far boards. Gruber trying to get to it. Kresge over to Gruber. Gruber sends it back into the neutral zone. Michaela Reist fires it back into the Pioneer end, picked up by Andrianopoulos. He banks it off the far board. Barrett trying to hold it in. Pioneer gets it ahead. Back into the Chelsea zone. Crawford, top of the near circle in his own end. He rims it all the way around the far boards. Kresge picks it up in front of his own bench. Over to Andrianopoulos down the near side. Miller has it from the scorer's bench. Intercepted right at the blue line as McCullough Reist fires it, as that will be offside, I believe. And it's going to head right outside of the Pioneer zone in the far face-off circle, just in front of the Pioneer bench. 3:57 left to go here at Yost in the first period. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Brendan Stone trying to win that face-off. They have back to Garcia. Garcia moves that head down the near boards. As Gold trying to get to it. Down the near boards. Brendan Stone gets it into the Chelsea end. Is trying to pull it away into the far corner. Brendan Stone has it. He's pinned there. Issel trying to knock that away. That comes right to the blue line, but good job to hold it in by Pioneer. Garcia holds it in and puts it back into the near corner. Gold trying to set it up out in front. There's a blast. Saved by Cochran. Pushing and shoving afterwards. 3:26 left to go here in the first. Pioneer up 1-0. Remember, Pioneer men's hockey does have a game on the 20th, so you do have one more opportunity to check them out over at Big B's Ice Cube before the end of the calendar year. That puck brought back behind by Crawford from the near side to the far side. Crawford coming down the far board. Smith had it. Now that pulled away by Pioneer. Gold has it chipped back. Now Crawford, top of the far circle. Garcia drives him wide. That shot right through the crease. Top of the near circle. As Brandt has it. Now steered ahead, but a whistle. It looks like the goal came off of its mooring. So they'll try and get that set. 3:06 left to go here in the first. Pioneer with the 1-0 lead. Face-off is to Houston's right in the near face-off circle. Barrett in to take the face-off. Now they'll have Issel come in to take the face-off versus Commute. Puck down the near boards, trying to hold it in. Here comes Commute. Commute over center. Commute has it top of the near circle. Commute fires it, trying to get across to McDonald. Puck wouldn't settle down. Commute picks it up outside the far circle. Moves it back to Mahone. Mahone firing it. That tipped into the far corner. Garcia trying to hold it in. That back behind. Issel racing ahead with it. Mahone coming up as there's a save by Houston. There's another grab. Houston with another save as that puck onto the far circle. Now sent down the near boards. Powers chasing it. But that will be icing back into the Chelsea end. Pioneer will get a line change, but Houston having to make 3 huge saves. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. That is going to be the Houston's right. Gagnon in to take the face-off versus Brendan Stone. That comes in along the far boards. German backhands it all the way back, and that up into the bench. Little friendly fire. That'll come out, and they will drop that back into the far circle in the Pioneer end. That to Houston's left. 2:22 left to go here in the first. Pioneer up by a goal. As that puck taken, Kresge feeds it right back behind and along the near boards. Peters with it there. Peters trying to feed it into the neutral zone. Grabbed by Perry. Perry fires it right back deep into the Pioneer zone. Connor Edwards has it underneath the near circle. Fed down in along the far boards, over to Brendan Stone. Brendan Stone coming down the far boards over center. Into the zone, offside the call. German did everything he could to try and hold up, but that momentum just carried him over the line. Face-off in the far face-off circle, just outside of the Chelsea end, with 2 minutes left to go here in the first. Brandt in to take the face-off versus Brendan Stone. Here comes German. German outside the far circle as he ends up down on the ice. Brendan Stone gets it right back behind the goal. Issel trying to pull that away. Battle of 2 number 9s right back behind the goal. Trying to peel that back into the near corner is Peters. Peters gets it back to Connor Edwards at the near point. That fed over to the far point. Shot there as that goes right back. Kresge trying to hold it in at the far point. Just slips past Valiant effort, but he moves it down the far boards. Now knocked down by Crawford. Crawford trying to get around Peters. That puck down along the near boards. Brandt brings it in. Brandt outside the near circle. Connor Edwards driving him wide. Brandt back behind the goal, underneath the far circle now. Brandt stops outside the far circle as that goes back into the neutral zone. Perry grabs it there in along the near boards. Picked up by Issel, now grabbed by Miller. Knocked away by Brandt as that will be backhanded deep into the Pioneer zone with a minute left to go here in the first. And puck intercepted. Crawford with a blast and a great save by Houston as Ryan Edwards moves it ahead. Now here comes Miller down the near boards. Miller is heavily checked into the boards, puck into the near corner. Perry feeds it all the way around the boards. Issel picks it up outside the far circle. Gruber trying to knock that away as it comes right back behind the goal. Battle for it, trying to dig it out of there. Crawford battling with Gruber. Also in there trying to peel it out there is Ryan Edwards. Still trying to get it out in front. Gruber has that poked away into the near corner. 22 seconds left to go. That puck lifted all the way down the ice. And it's going to skitter right over the goal line, and that will be back into the Chelsea end on an icing with 14.7 seconds left to go. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That is the Josh Cochran's left. Commuting in to take the face-off. Brandt on the other side as that puck rims all the way around. Andrianopoulos holds it in at the far point, outside the far circle. 6 seconds left to go. McDonald underneath the near circle. Commuting trying to dig it out of there. And that will do it for the first. At the end of one, it is Pioneer 1 on the German goal and Chelsea nothing as we head into the first intermission. As it was, let's go over a little bit of the action. It was a penalty to Chelsea at 13:32. That one to first for tripping. And then at 11:22, it was a penalty to Chelsea. I believe that was a slash on Rance. Then at 7:47, it was a goal by Pioneer German putting it in. And that is where we stand. We'll play a few messages from the MHSAA. We will be back with your second period action. You're watching Pioneer Men's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the specialized sports parent support group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem is, they'd be really funny if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSAA website at mhsaa.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Why do high school sports really exist? For 99% of the participants, it's the biggest stage they will ever play on, and it provides the most educational value, teaching sportsmanship, ethics, integrity, hard work, and teamwork. It's about playing with local friends against local rivals and creating lifetime relationships. They build community spirit, and they're worthy of your continued support. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform, why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You're hearing it. The message is getting through to parents. Multi-sport athletes get injured less. Multi-sport athletes become better in their primary sport in the long run. And even though it's not why we play our games, multi-sport athletes are now getting recruited more than specialized athletes. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You have to wonder sometimes how folks in the stands, so far removed from the action and who have probably never had any training, actually think they can see the play and apply the rules better than the officials assigned to a game. If you're that good, please register immediately at MHSAA.com. We need more officials on the playing surface and fewer in the stands. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Think of a high school game as a 4-lane highway. Coaches, players, officials, and spectators, each with their own lane. Sportsmanship depends on everyone not crossing over the line. Fans keep it between the lines when they cheer positively for their team. So don't cause an accident. Stay in your lane and let the coaches, players, and officials do their jobs. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Power Ratings will be used this year in soccer, basketball, and boys lacrosse to seed the district tournament in those sports, and you can follow along. Visit your school's page on the MHSAA website to see how your team is faring, and you can look at statewide lists as well. And if you see your team is missing a score, submit it. Learn more about the Michigan Power Rankings at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
as Chelsea is coming out of the locker room to our left. Both teams using the locker rooms to the left. I don't think anyone's using the visitor locker room to the right. Is getting ready to go here for the second period. We appreciate you joining us live from Yost Ice Arena. It is Pioneer men's hockey taking on Chelsea. Pioneer has the 1-0 lead. Ice resurfaced, 17 minutes up on the clock. Here comes Pioneer. Houston will go down to the right. Pioneer going from right to left here with the long change in the second. As Cochran down to our left, he's getting his crease marked up just the way he wants. It's both coaching staffs getting things ready to go. There's the whistle. We're about to get ready here for the second. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Commuting out there, as well as Powers, Garcia, McDonald, and Mahone. Commuting ready to take the face off. Brandt comes in the other side, and we are underway. Chelsea has it. Perry sending it down the near boards. Fired ahead. Issel puts it deep into the Pioneer zone. Mahone has it in the far corner, trying to get it out there. Brandt outside the far circle. Back to the far point. That slips out. Here comes a breakaway. Racing ahead is Commutin. Commutin shot, and that one just wide outside the near circle. McDonald trying to fire it out in front. That taken away. Loose. Chip back onto the far circle. That's going to be a penalty upcoming to Pioneer. That's going to be a tripping call. That at 16:30. Into the box goes McDonald on tripping, and Chelsea will have their first power play of the game with 16:30 left to go here in the second. Pioneer with a 1-0 lead. Face-off back in the Pioneer zone. Looks like it's going to be in the far face-off circle. That to Houston's right. As German in to take the face-off. Brandt on the other side. Puck into the far corner, bounces up high, loose on that far circle, now bringing it down the near boards. Trying to poke that away, Garcia. Held in out to the far point. There's a shot by Perry, knocked down and along the near boards. And lifted and fired all the way down the ice. Pioneer able to clear. 1:36 left to go in the power play. 16:04 left to go here in the second. Gathered up, fired down the far boards. Racing ahead with it is Perry. German trying to knock it away from him. Puck into the far corner of the Pioneer zone. Right back behind Houston. Stopped there and lifted all the way down the ice. Excellent job by Garcia to clear it. Stopped by Cochran. Picked up by Crawford right back behind his own goal. 1 minute, 9 seconds left to go in the Chelsea power play. German back there providing pressure. Now coming down the near boards, here comes Crawford. Crawford into the zone, outside the near circle. Crawford into the near corner. German puts a hit on him, puck underneath the near circle, and that cleared all the way down the ice. 50 seconds left to go in the Chelsea power play, and there is a injured player for Chelsea in the near corner. We hope he's all right, as that is Crawford. He is kind of on his knees with his head down on the ice. He is getting helped up by his fellow players. We hope that he is all right. It's a good sportsmanship by the crowd, giving him a round of applause as he makes his way off the ice. We hope he's going to be all right. Knock on wood, hopefully it's nothing serious. Crawford has been playing very well thus far in this game, so Chelsea's going to hope that he's going to be all right as he takes a seat on the bench. That comes all the way back into the Pioneer zone. 49 seconds left on the Chelsea power play. Excuse me, that's in the Chelsea end. So Miller in to take the face off. As that puck, Perry trying to get to it, shot, and that save by Cochran. Good shot by Miller just on the inner corner of the near circle, and Cochran able to make a save. 44 seconds left in the Chelsea power play. That puck back to the near point. There's a shot. And it's a good job by Kresge to take a shot. That is a save by Cochran. Again, that'll be in the near face-off circle. 39 seconds left to go in the power play. Chelsea gets a couple more players on as they get a line change. As Barrett in to take the face-off versus Miller. That puck in along the near boards, trying to pull that away. Benjamin Alvey has it down the near boards. That fired all the way back into the Pioneer end. That'll be icing and head right back into the Chelsea zone with 26 seconds left on the Chelsea power play. Pioneer with a 1-0 lead. Again, face-off in the near face-off circle. That to the right of Cochran. Puck in along the near boards. Kresge has it, keeps it in at the near point. Bouncing puck on the near circle. In along the near boards. First trying to get it out of the zone. First into the neutral zone. Now Barrett had it. Coming into the zone now. Gagnon has it into the near corner. Gathered up there by Connor Edwards. Feeding it down the far boards. Miller trying to get to it first. Battling there. Pioneer comes away with it through the neutral zone. Racing ahead with it is Connor Edwards. There's a shot blocker save. Comes outside the far circle. Miller trying to pull that away, but first has it for Chelsea. Intercepted by McDonald. McDonald at his own blue line. McDonald coming down the near boards over center. McDonald makes a nifty move. That was sent by first ahead. Here comes Gagnon. Gagnon down the far boards gains the Pioneer zone. Shot there and a save by Houston. 14:06 left to go here in the second. 1-0 Pioneer with the 1-goal lead here at Yost Ice Arena. Face-off in the far face-off circle in the Pioneer zone. And it's commuting in to take the face-off. As that puck sent across, and that'll go all the way back into the neutral zone, in along the near boards. Tipped away. Pioneer, Powers trying to get to it. Now McDonald trying to feed it ahead to Commutin and steered down the near boards. As that's fed ahead by Smith. Gaining the zone is Issel. Issel outside the far circle. Picked up back behind as working around. Is that Sobachowski? Oh, sorry, that was Barrett. Down the near boards. Here comes McDonald. McDonald on the near circle. McDonald moves it across, trying to get to Powers. Just out of his reach. Puck into the far corner. Back behind to Commutin. Commutin underneath the near circle. Back to the far point to Mahone. All the way back into the near corner. Powers trying to get to it. Now picked up by Commutin onto the near circle. Commutin feeds it to Andrianopoulos at the near point. Shot there. Tipping it out in front and a goal. McDonald tips the shot from the point out in front. And that's a goal for Pioneer. That'll make it 2-0 here at 13:09. Pioneer with a goal in the first at 7:47. Now a goal here at 13:09 in the second. That gives them a 2-goal lead. Brendan Stone in to take the face off versus Barrett. Puck in along the near boards. Barrett takes it back into his own zone. Fired all the way across by McCullough Reist. Now gaining the zone. Top of the far circle. Shot there. That comes in along the near boards. Back into the neutral zone it goes. Down along the near boards. German gets it over to Brendan Stone. Brendan Stone into the near corner. Brendan Stone trying to feed it out in front of the Chelsea goal. And knocked away by McCullough Reist. Now Andrianopoulos holds it in at the near point. Into the near corner. German has it there. German in along the near boards. Here comes Chelsea as that's held in. Coming in. Here comes Brendan Stone with a shot and Cochran with the save. 12:29 left to go here in the second. 2-0 Pioneer with the lead. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. And to Cochran's right. Brendan Stone in to take the face-off. Brandt on the other side. So that puck loose into the near corner it goes. German has it. German back behind the goal. Now underneath the far circle. German outside the far circle feeds it right back behind the goal into the near corner as There's a shot by German. Good save by Cochran all the way back to the far point. Garcia has it there. Now Brennan Stone with a shot. And good save by Cochran. 12:06 left to go here in the second. Miller in to take the face off. Brandt on the other side. And puck in along outside the far circle. Garcia with it. Garcia back behind the goal. Garcia underneath the near circle. Puts it onto the near circle, but coming ahead with it is Issel. Issel over center ice. Issel gains the Pioneer zone. Issel shot there. Good save by Houston. Puck back behind the Pioneer goal. There's a shot off the side of the goal. Pioneer trying to bring it ahead as that will come down the near boards. Then fired back deep by Gruber. They'll slip right back behind Cochran. Perry has it there. In along the far board. Smith for Chelsea trying to get it out of the zone. Good job to hold it in by Garcia. Puck outside back to the far point. Miller holds it in. Miller outside the far circle. Miller with a shot. Saved by Cochran. Loose on the near circle. Here comes Chelsea as that's fed back deep. Picking it up. Coming in. Shot and a save as Smith with a shot in the slot. And Houston able to get the save at 11:14. 2-0 Pioneer with the lead here at Yost. Face-off to Houston's right in the far face-off circle. Commuting in to take the face-off. Barrett on the other side. And puck into the far corner. Fed down the far boards. Here comes Powers. Now McDonald has it. McDonald scored the last Pioneer goal. Moves it into the slot. Coming in. Shot as that one just went wide in along the far boards. As Commuting with an excellent opportunity. That puck comes all the way down into the Pioneer end. In along the end boards. Picked up there. And moved over to McDonald. Outside the near circle. McDonald into the near corner. Underneath the near circle. Trying to move it ahead to Andrianopoulos. That down the near boards. Commuting has it. Commuting into his own zone. Feeds it right to center ice. McDonald trying to get to it. Barrett pokes it away. Loose on the block M. Now Connor Edwards trying to move it across. Still loose. Issel fires it back to his own blue line. Now that'll get knocked down by Powers, but bringing it in, McCullough Reese has it. McCullough Reese into the slot. Shot just goes wide in along the far boards. Barrett has it there. He's pinned against the board. Out in front. That one just goes wide into the near corner. Great opportunity for Chelsea. Here comes McDonald. That got knocked into the Chelsea bench as that went off of the Chelsea player. That's going to bring it back into the Pioneer end at 10:09 left to go here in the second. 2-0 Pioneer with the lead. By the way, Pioneer Baseball is having a fundraiser where they will take care of your Christmas tree for you. You can see that out at the pioneerathletics.net website. As we'll post that again as that comes back to the blue line. There's a shot that just goes wide. But if you have a real tree and you don't know what to do with it, help out Pioneer Baseball and get that tree taken care of. Now coming ahead with it. Here comes German gaining the zone. Top of the near circle. That fired across trying to get to Brendan Stone. Gathered up down the far boards is Brandt. Loose on the far circle. Perry has it for Chelsea. Ricochets it off the near board. That loose. Brandt trying to get to it. Now knocked down. Issel had it, but offside the call. 9:38 left to go here in the second. Pioneer with the 2-0 lead. Face-off comes outside the Pioneer zone in the near face-off circle. Brendan Stone in taking the face-off versus Brandt. Comes in along the far boards. Picked up by Mahone. Now tipped back deep, but offside the call. That'll come just outside of the Chelsea zone in the far face-off circle with 9:29 left to go here in the second. No, that's going to come all the way back into the Pioneer zone. And that's going to be to the right of Houston. Brendan Stone in to take the face-off versus Barrett. Puck in along the far boards, trying to fire it out in front. Garcia with an excellent job feeding it as that puck into the zone. Here comes German. German outside the far circle, trying to fire it out in front for Peterson and covered up by Cochran. Cochran doing an excellent job as Pioneer putting pressure on him. With Josh Cochran remaining steady. The first Pioneer goal was kind of a scramble out in front. The second one was a tip out in front by McDonald. And puck loose on the far circle, bringing it ahead. Here comes Chelsea, racing down the near boards. As First had it, that puck outside the near circle. Barrett with it, now First trying to poke it in. At top of the near circle in the Pioneer end. Pioneer trying to feed it ahead. Now Barrett with a shot. That pad save into the near corner by Houston. Deflected out in front. Barrett into the slot. Puts it back at the far point. There's a shot and a save. Great job again by Houston bringing it ahead. Here comes Commutin. Commutin onto the near circle. Commutin outside the near circle. Trying to work his way through traffic. That tipped away by Gagnon. Loose now. Grabbing it is Barrett. Barrett as that poked away, but he's coming ahead with it. Here comes Crawford. Great to see him out there. Shot there. That deflects in along the far boards. Just make sure that's Crawford, not Smith. It is indeed. So, yeah, we're very happy to see Crawford out there. Mahone has it underneath the near circle. Mahone coming ahead with it. He's over his own blue line, over center ice. Mahone into the zone outside the near circle. Mahone firing it out in front. That picked up by Crawford down the far boards. Crawford into the far corner of his own zone. Deflected off of the near boards into the Pioneer end. Issel has it. Issel coming in, and the puck wouldn't settle down for him as Issel point blank and went to take the shot, and the puck just would not settle down, robbing Chelsea of a great opportunity. I'm sure Houston didn't mind. He's able to cover that up. Face off in the near face off circle. Miller in to take the face off versus Brandt. Puck into the near corner. Kresge has it back behind. Kresge coming down in along the far boards. Kresge trying to chip it. Held in. Now Smith had it, coming ahead with it. Down the near boards. Here comes Ryan Edwards. Ryan Edwards outside the near circle. Ryan Edwards stops. Feeds it back to the near point to Kresge. Kresge. His shot went off of a Chelsea player into the near corner. Gruber trying to dig it out of the near corner. That's back into the neutral zone. All the way across to Connor Edwards. He fires it back deep. Pioneer touches up. Puck into the near corner. And brought ahead as Perry feeds it down the near boards. Chip there, but brought in by Brandt. Offside the call. 7:10 left to go here in the second. 2-0 Pioneer with the lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle, that just outside of the Pioneer zone. Coming in there versus Barrett. Puck in along the far boards. Garcia into the far corner, trying to feed it ahead. Powers trying to get to that, but that held in by Crawford. Puck it back into the far corner. Barrett with it. Barrett trying to lift it as that comes in along the near boards. McDonald feeds it ahead. Now racing Powers trying to get to it, pulled away by Chelsea. Loose now. Commutin had it, but offsides for Pioneers. 6:49 left to go here in the second. Face-off will come outside of the Chelsea zone in the near face-off circle. Commutin in to take the face-off. Barrett on the other side. Puck grabbing it. Commutin gains his own. Puck wouldn't settle down. Puck outside the near circle. Commutin with it. Trying to move it ahead. Here comes Chelsea down the near boards. Collision. Andrianopoulos holds it in at the near point as Rance was trying to get it out. Puck loose. Powers fires it into the far corner. Commutin trying to avoid pressure by Barrett. Feeds it out in front for Powers. Save there by Cochran as he covers it up. Good save by Cochran on the initial save and able to dive on that loose puck. 6:24 left to go here in the second. Face-off again in the near face-off circle in the Chelsea zone. Brendan Stone in to take the face-off versus Brandt. Puck trying to pull it away. Chelsea has it. Issel down the near boards. Fed it into the near corner. Now coming ahead. Brendan Stone underneath that far circle. Sent right back behind. Picked up by Brandt. Brandt coming down the near boards. Trying to hold it in. There's a big check as German goes down. Whistle blown. 6:06 left to go. As that is going to be a penalty into the box. That's going to be interference for the call. So That visitor's penalty box never likes to behave itself well. That's a penalty for Chelsea. Brandt in on interference. That at 6:06. Face-off. That to Cochran's left in the far face-off circle. Issel in there taking the face-off versus German. Back to the far point. Mahone has it over. McDonald with a blast. Good save by Cochran. German outside the far circle trying to peel that off of the boards. And puck brought ahead. And right back to the far point. That is going to be a whistle. And is that going to be a tripping call? I believe it is. So we'll have 1 minute and 38 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey. As into the box goes German. So Pioneer penalty for tripping at 5:44, and it is, again, 38 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey here with 5:44 left to go. Puck outside the near circle. Pioneer has it. Trying to bring it ahead. Garcia feeds it down the near boards. Racing ahead is Khabib. Khabib gains his own. Khabib, top of the near circle, making his way through the slot. Firing out in front. Backhanded shot and a score! As Mahone gets a great job as he had it just on the far side. Took a shot, got the rebound, and fired it in. Mahone makes it 3-0 Pioneer. That at 5:31. Even strength goal. As Mahone gets the tally. We'll continue with a minute 25 of 4-on-4 hockey coming down the near boards. Here comes Commutin trying to get past the defense. That tipped away in along the near boards. Perry feeds it back into the neutral zone. Coming ahead with it is Gagnon. Now Mahone fires it ahead, then all the way back into the Chelsea end. Picked up back behind as Crawford has it back behind the goal, feeds it down the far boards. Now in along the near boards, that gathered up by Crawford. Crawford gains his own. Knocked away right at the near point. Excellent work by Garcia. Barrett has it right at the block end. Barrett gains the Pioneer zone, top of the far circle. Barrett stops outside the far circle, moves it back to the far point. Sent across to Perry. Perry moves it onto the near circle. Blast there as a save, and that'll go up into the netting. But a big blast by Crawford from the near circle. Face-off will be in the Pioneer zone in the near face-off circle. 39 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey. Then we will have, what would that be, 22 seconds of a power play for Chelsea, if I can do some basic math. Kresge trying to move it ahead. Now here comes Miller back to Kresge. Kresge right over center ice. Kresge gains his own. Stops top of the far circle. Kresge back to the blue line. Now moves it over to Connor Edwards. Connor Edwards with a shot. That blocked into the near corner. Crawford has it back behind his own goal. Crawford sets up shop there, now coming in along the near boards. Crawford makes it over his own blue line, over center ice. Crawford into the Pioneer end. Good poke check back there. Knocking it away by Connor Edwards. Miller has it back behind his own goal, now coming down the far boards. Miller feeds it ahead. That puck rifled all the way back deep. That is going to be icing, fired from the wrong side of center ice. And that'll come back into the Pioneer end. That was just when the first penalty, before the first penalty expired, because otherwise, if Pioneer was on a penalty kill, they would be able to ice the puck. So 22-second power play for Chelsea. Brendan Stone in to take the face-off versus Brandt. Issel trying to get to it outside the far circle. Smith feeds it in along the end boards. Now Connor Edwards puts it down the near boards, held in by Perry. Puck outside the near circle. Perry again holds it in at the near point. Perry into the slot, knocked away. Here comes Pioneer, feeding it ahead. Peters has it back behind the defense. Peters comes in, shoots and scores! Peters makes it 4-0 Pioneer with 3:43 left to go here in the second. Peters puts it in, and Pioneer up 4-0 with 3:43 left to go here in the second. 1 goal in the first, 3 goals now here in the second. Pioneer trying to keep control of this game and not give Chelsea any momentum. Chelsea looking to get that next goal, try and break Pioneers' goal streak here and get some momentum going their way. Kresge down the near boards, gains the Chelsea zone. Kresge onto the near circle, back in along the end boards. Kresge stops there, back behind the goal, feeds it out in front. Brendan Stone, puck wouldn't settle down for him. Loose and coming the other direction. Here comes First down the near boards. And puck right in front of the scorer's bench. Kresge trying to poke that away. Peters is popping up now. Brendan Stone out to the far circle. Brendan Stone, shot and a save by Cochran. 3:13 left to go here in the second. 4-0 Pioneer with the lead. Pioneer would love to keep cruising here. I'm sure Chelsea would love to try and get a goal before the second intermission. Commuting in to take the face-off versus Brandt. Puck back to the far point. Blast there. Loose out in front. Is Gold trying to get to him. That'll be sent back to the far point. Sent in is Garcia trying to feed it back deep. Now coming in, here comes Chelsea as it's loose in the slot. Knocked away down the near boards. Pioneer feeds it the other directions. McDonald has it. Commuting has it knocked away. Pioneer offside the call. So they couldn't quite hold it in. That'll come outside of the Pioneer, or onside the Chelsea zone in the near face-off circle. 2:50 left to go here in the second. Commuting in to take the face-off. Brandt on the other side. Fired back deep into the near corner and a whistle. 2:46 left to go here in the second. Face off again in the near face off circle just outside of the Chelsea zone. Brandt versus Commuting. That puck back into the Chelsea end. Crawford feeds it over to Perry. Perry coming down the far boards. Gold trying to knock it away. Loose at the far point. Garcia trying to chip that now back into the far corner. Commuting has it. Commuting back behind his own goal, coming down the near boards. Here comes McDonald. McDonald feeds it all the way across the ice. Grabbed by Gold. Gold comes in, top of the near circle. Now steered into the near corner by Commuting. Loose on that near circle. Back into the near corner. Crawford chips it all the way around the boards into the far corner. McDonald trying to poke that away. Loose. Here comes Pioneer. There's a shot. Good block. Excellent defensive play back there by Chelsea, as that was Crawford with a great stop. Into the slot comes Brandt. Brandt trying to get a shot away. That one off the side of the net. Wraparound attempt is Houston. That's going to be a goal. Houston trying to go from the far side to the near side. Best effort. But ends up going in as Chelsea gets a goal. Is that Issel who got the goal? Was it Crawford? I think Crawford right there, but in along the far board, shot there by Ryan Edwards in a save. So Chelsea goal at 1:46. I could not hear the announcer. Did you catch that one? Must have been, if it was 30-something, that would probably be 34 Brandt. So we'll put that on there. Puck onto the far circle. Held in by Mahone. Mahone, top of the near circle. Mahone trying to bring it in. Mahone outside the near circle. Now fed back to Miller at the near point. That deflected and fired by Chelsea back to the far point. Gagnon trying to get it out of the zone. That held in, fired right back deep into the near corner. Miller has it there. Puck loose. Now sent into the far corner. Ryan Edwards has it on the far circle. Ryan Edwards back to Mahone. Blast from the blue line. That comes in along the near boards. Held in there by Kristoff. Kristoff trying to take a blast. That one wouldn't settle down for him, and that fired all the way down as that one off of the bench. That's going to come back into the Chelsea end with 1:01 left to go. 4-1. Pioneer with the lead. Chelsea with their first goal at the 1:46 mark. So Chelsea is going to try and use that momentum to build something. Pioneer would love to take that momentum right away. Brandt in to take the faceoff versus Brendan Stone. Backhanded into the far corner. Grab there. Brendan Stone goes back behind into the far corner. Now onto the far circle. There's a blast and a goal by German. Set up perfectly by Brendan Stone. And he set up German from the far side. German right on the near circle, and he fired it in. And there was nothing that Cochran could do about that one. So goal by Pioneer, that at 49.7 seconds left. Great pass and great puck movement by Pioneer leads it to be 5-1. So Pioneer trying to steal that momentum right back from Chelsea. German had it, but that fired back deep into the Pioneer zone. Houston steers it into the near corner. Connor Edwards moves it ahead. Down the far boards, Peters trying to get to it. That held in. Brandt outside the far circle. Knocked away by Connor Edwards. Grabbed there by Smith. Now Brandt outside the far circle trying to feed it out in front. Tipped back behind. That'll come underneath the near circle. Smith trying to get to it. Now German into the near corner. German comes down the near boards trying to get it back into the neutral zone. Ricochets it off the near board, but that's sent right back in. Cross ice pass picked up by Connor Edwards over his own blue line with 10 seconds left to go here in the second. Fired back deep into the Chelsea end with 5 seconds left to go. German trying to get to it into the near corner. 2 seconds, 1 second. That will do it for the second. So it was 1-0 at the end of one, and then 5 goals in the second. Pioneers scored 3 of them, as it was a goal by McDonald and a goal by Mahone, and then a goal by Peters. Then Chelsea came back as Brandt had a goal at 1:46 to make it 4-1. And then Pioneer, Brendan Stone set up German, who blasted it in. That is his second goal of the game, so German has a brace. That was at 49.7 seconds. So we will take a break here. We'll play a few messages from the MHSAA. Thank you for joining us for this Pioneer men's hockey action. We're really hoping to get at least a couple more road games for this Pioneer team. I'm trying to be fair and cover as many different teams as I can. So we're going to try and get a couple more road games throughout the season. We will tweak those out. And I should have on my calendar, I think I need to put everything after the new year out there, but you can keep an eye on our calendar at arborbroadcasting.com as well. Here's some messages from the MHSAA here at the second intermission. Pioneer men's hockey 5 and Chelsea 1.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the specialized sports parent support group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem is, they'd be really funny if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSAA website at mhsaa.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Why do high school sports really exist? For 99% of the participants, it's the biggest stage they will ever play on, and it provides the most educational value, teaching sportsmanship, ethics, integrity, hard work, and teamwork. It's about playing with local friends against local rivals and creating lifetime relationships. They build community spirit, and they're worthy of your continued support. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform, why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You're hearing it. The message is getting through to parents. Multi-sport athletes get injured less. Multi-sport athletes become better in their primary sport in the long run. And even though it's not why we play our games, multi-sport athletes are now getting recruited more than specialized athletes. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You have to wonder sometimes how folks in the stands, so far removed from the action and who have probably never had any training, actually think they can see the play and apply the rules better than the officials assigned to a game. If you're that good, please register immediately at MHSAA.com. We need more officials on the playing surface and fewer in the stands. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Think of a high school game as a 4-lane highway. Coaches, players, officials, and spectators, each with their own lane. Sportsmanship depends on everyone not crossing over the line. Fans keep it between the lines when they cheer positively for their team. So don't cause an accident. Stay in your lane and let the coaches, players, and officials do their jobs. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Power Ratings will be used this year in soccer, basketball, and boys lacrosse to seed the district tournament in those sports, and you can follow along. Visit your school's page on the MHSAA website to see how your team is faring, and you can look at statewide lists as well. And if you see your team is missing a score, submit it. Learn more about the Michigan Power Rankings at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
as we are coming back from the second intermission. 17 minutes up on the clock. 5-1 Pioneer with the lead. They're going to try and hang on this third period. Chelsea trying to make an epic comeback here live from Yost Ice Arena. We are very grateful for you folks joining us today. Again, we will have Pioneer men's basketball tomorrow, as we will have the JV contest versus East Point at 5:30 and the varsity at 7 p.m. On Saturday, we will have Pioneer women's basketball versus Saline. Again, JV at 5:30 and varsity at 7. And then we have at 7 p.m. on Saturday, our final game of the calendar year will be Pioneer women's hockey from Vets. That will be versus Flint United. As Commuton versus Brant, we're underway as that puck coming in along the far boards. Fed ahead by Perry, back, grabbed at the blue line as Garcia feeds it ahead. Now racing down. Here comes McDonald. McDonald gains the zone. That puck tipped away. Issel trying to come the other direction. Garcia has it. He backhands it over to Commuton. Commuton into the zone. Commuton onto the far circle. Commuton fires it out in front. That comes all the way back to the near point. Mahone firing it. That comes right back behind the goal. McDonald trying to fire it out in front. Into the near corner it goes. Here comes Chelsea as they deflect it ahead. Mahone trying to knock it down as he's battling with Smith. That goes back deep, right back behind Cochran into the far corner. McDonald trying to feed it across to Commuton. Commuton, top of the far circle. Commuton trying to make a move. Mahone fires it outside the far circle to McDonald. McDonald back to the far point. Garcia rims it all the way around. That'll come outside the near circle. Chelsea trying to get it out. Mahone takes it. Now that fired all the way back. Garcia at his own blue line. Garcia trying to feed it. That is going to be icing. That'll head back into the Pioneer zone. 15:48 left to go here in the third. 5-1 as Pioneer in the lead. Face off in the near face off circle. Barron in to take the face off. Brendan Stone on the other side. Brendan Stone trying to get to it into the near corner. Connor Edwards fires it all the way around. Is trying to pull that back. Fired ahead by Bergman. All the way back deep. Crawford has it on the far circle of his own zone. He rims it all the way back. Connor Edwards trying to hold it in at the near point. Right back behind the Chelsea goal and along the far boards. Trying to knock that away was Benjamin Alvey. Wraparound attempt. There's a good save by Cochran as Brendan Stone with an excellent opportunity. There's a blast by German looking for the hat trick. Now Bergman, that deflects right out in front into the near corner. Chelsea coming down the near boards, deflecting it, trying to get it to Gagnon. Now Brendan Stone has it, but a whistle, and I believe that's going to be a hand pass. So that's going to bring that right back into the Pioneer zone with 15:01 left to go. 5-1 Pioneer with the lead. Face off to Houston's right in the near face off circle. Brandt in to take the face off. Miller on the other side. Perry has it, top of the near circle. Perry, that shot got blocked by Ryan Edwards. There's a shot that deflected in the slot. Holding it in, Issel couldn't quite get his stick on it. Now coming ahead with it. Here comes Ryan Edwards all the way across and along the near boards. Gathered up by Brandt. Brandt into the Pioneer zone. Outside the near circle, Brandt trying to feed it back to the near point. That slips back. McCullough Reist has it and along the far boards. Now Perry ricochets it back deep into the Pioneer end. Andrianopoulos chasing it. Brandt firing it out in front. That comes back. Here comes Pioneer racing down the far boards. Trying to fire it back deep is Peterson. That puck outside the far circle. Now Ryan Edwards moves it over. Miller with a shot. Cochran steers it into the far corner. Trying to hold it in. That'll go all the way back deep. I'll say no one tipped that. They'll be icing right back into the Chelsea end. 14:11 left to go here in the third. 5-1 Pioneer with the lead. Trying to get to 7-3. Commuting to take the face-off in the near face-off circle. Barrett on the other side. And puck in along the near boards, holding it in. Connor Edwards All the way around. Rance trying to get to it, but that fired off the dasher. Trying to get to it was Kamitin. That into the far corner. Barrett firing it ahead. Held in by Kresge. Puck loose. Now coming down the near boards. Barrett in top of the far circle. Connor Edwards right on top of him. That puck pulled the other direction by Kamitin. Now chipped by Crawford. Crawford in along the far boards. He ricochets that back into the neutral zone. Plucked up. Coming ahead with it. Here comes Gagnon. Gagnon trying to get past on that far circle. Connor Edwards. Excellent job. Stolen away. Good defensive play by Kresge. Kresge ricochets it ahead. His Powers tips it deep into the near corner. 13:21 left to go. As that was Benjamin Alvey. Shot from the far circle. Saved by Cochran. Benjamin Alvey. In along the far boards. Makes a move and avoids McDonald. Held in by Pioneer. Now here comes Chelsea ahead as Gagnon has it. Gagnon banks it. That'll go all the way back. Icing waved off. 13:03 left to go here in the third. 5-1. Pioneer with the lead. Puck loose on that near circle in the Pioneer zone. Connor Edwards trying to poke it away. Smith trying to hold it in. That goes back into the neutral zone. Perry has it back to his own blue line. Perry coming down the near boards for Chelsea over center. Perry gains his own. Perry trying to make a move into the slot. Tipped away by Kresge. Excellent job. Now moved ahead. Kamitin has it knocked away by Perry. Fired right back by Smith. And that goes out of play. 12:36 left to go here in the third. And face-off will be at center ice right at the block end. Grant in to take the face-off versus Brendan Stone. Puck one back. Chelsea sends it deep into their own zone. German trying to get to it. Perry feeds it around the boards. German outside the far circle. German back to the far point. Trying to backhand it ahead. That's stolen away by Chelsea. Here comes Brandt. Brandt gaining the zone. Top of the near circle. Brandt trying to come in. Great job by Houston to slide across. And then that fired in as the puck comes back and put in by Issel. And that will make it 5-2. As that at 12-11, Chelsea with the goal. I believe that was Issel with the goal. That makes it 5-2. 3-goal lead by Pioneer. Chelsea trying to put a couple goals together here. Miller coming down the far boards. Miller gains the zone. Loose is that one back to the blue line. Mahone fires it into the far corner. Ryan Edwards has it onto the far circle. Ryan Edwards to the blue line, drops it back into the far point. And fired back deep. Now good job holding it in. And fired back by Christoph. Loose coming down the far boards. Chelsea moves it in along the near boards. Issel with it. Issel over center. Fired back deep into the Pioneer end. Christoph has it in the far boards. Moved ahead. Coming in along the near boards. Here comes Ryan Edwards. Ryan Edwards over his own blue line. Chip back. Coming in his first. Loose right at the blue line. Miller. Now over center. Miller gains the Chelsea zone. Top of the far circle. Miller with a blast. That just goes wide. Mahone trying to hold it in at the near point. And in along the far boards. Held in by Miller. Back to Mahone. Now Miller. That off of a defender's skate into the near corner. Centering attempt by Ryan Edwards. Deflected back to the near point. Miller holds it in. Miller outside the near circle into the near corner. Miller trying to play it off of his knees. That comes back, right back behind the goal. As Gruber trying to get to it. That fired all the way back into the Pioneer end. That will be icing. 10:41 left to go here in the third. 5-2 Pioneer with the 3-goal lead, but Chelsea the lone goal in the third. Face-off is going to be to Cochran's left in the near face-off circle. Commuting in to take the face-off. Brandt on the other side. In along the near boards, held in at the near point by Connor Edwards. As that puck into the slot, Commuting trying to get to it. Commuting underneath the far circle. And off the side of the net and covered up by Cochran. Josh Cochran with another big save. 10:29 left to go here in the third. Again, you can check out this Pioneer team, men's hockey team, one more time on the 20th at Big B Ice Cube. Commuton has it back behind that, right through the crease and along the near boards. Here comes Chelsea racing down with it, fired across by Issel. Brandt trying to get to it, but Connor Edwards backhands it into the far corner. Kresge feeds it in along the far boards. Gathered up right at center. Crawford sends it right back deep into the Pioneer end. Off the dasher, back behind the goal. Gathered up there, Kresge into the far corner. Kresge gets it back underneath the near circle. Kresge feeding it ahead. Here comes Gold. Gold backhands it. Commuton trying to get to it, but that's steered away by Perry. Now Gold feeding it over to Commuton outside the far circle. Commuton, high slot now coming over, top of the near circle. There's a blast that got caught out in front. Loose, backhanded shot. Good save there as that puck all the way back. Connor Edwards has it at the blue line. Shot there, driven wide into the near corner. Kresge outside the near circle, into the near corner. Kresge trying to get to it. Perry fires it all the way around. Connor Edwards holds it in. Now trying to make a move. Commuton trying to get through the high slot as Brandt feeds it all the way down the ice. McDonald back into the Pioneer zone. 9:19 left to go here in the third. As McDonald over center ice. McDonald gains the zone, trying to split a pair of defenders. He goes down to the ice. Puck into the near corner. Chelsea has it coming down the near boards. As McCullough Reist gets it back into the neutral zone. Gagnon feeds it deep into the Pioneer end. That chip the other direction. Brendan Stone has it back behind his own goal, trying to avoid Gagnon. There's a shot there, saved by Houston. As Gagnon puts it into the near corner. Peters trying to feed it ahead. Brendan Stone back behind his own goal. Rimmed all the way around outside the far circle. Sent across. Gathered up. Now coming ahead with it, Brendan Stone. Brendan Stone into the slot. Poked away. Grab. Blasted there by German. Off the dasher. Now back behind the goal. Trying to get to it, Brendan Stone. Back to the far point. Then it's able to slip past into the Pioneer end. Gathering it up, turning on it, heading the other direction. Here comes German. German over center. German outside the far circle. He has 2 goals, looking for his third underneath the near circle. German outside the near circle. Battling there, trying to poke that away. Still digging at it. And fired by Garcia. Now gathered up by Perry. Perry moves it around, held in by Pioneer. Bouncing puck back into the neutral zone. Here comes Chelsea. Fed ahead to Brandt, but knocked away by Garcia. Poke back from Garcia, but Miller grabs it and gains the zone. Miller makes a move onto the near circle and knocked away. German had it, now heading the other direction. Here comes Chelsea as Smith over center down the far board. Smith, top of the far circle. Andreopoulos trying to knock that away. Now Peterson trying to poke it back. Chelsea into the far corner. Backhanded shot by Issel and a save by Houston. Well, Issel has been dangerous in this game. He's shown speed and good positioning. 7:16 left to go here in the third. 5-2. Pioneer with the 3-goal lead. Commuton in to take the face off. Barrett on the other side. Now Commuton will go off the ice. As coming in is Brendan Stone. He'll take the face off versus Barrett. And blasted down the far boards back into the neutral zone. Back coming in as there's a save by Cochran. Good opportunity for Peterson trying to get that in, and Cochran with an excellent save. 7:07 left to go here in the third. 5-2. Face off in the far face-off circle. Commuton now in to take the face-off. Barrett on the other side. That is to Cochran's right. Top of the far circle. Commuton has it. Commuton in along the far boards. Commuton trying to work his way through the far circle. Puck into the slot. And that is going to be a whistle. And that's going to be a tripping call. as that is going to be a Chelsea penalty into the box. Again, that visitor penalty box, always a little bit of a pain, as that is going to be Benjamin Alvey, who goes off at 6:59. Pioneer with the power play. They're going to redrop this puck. Mahone has him redrop it. German in taking the face-off versus Brandt. Loose on the near circle. That fired all the way down back into the Pioneer zone. Houston stops it. Mahone back behind his own goal, coming down the near boards. Mahone over his own blue line, trying to make his way through a few Chelsea players. Mahone gains the zone, moves it back to the far point. Now coming in, there's a blast that just goes wide from McDonald. He's right out in front. Shot from the far circle, right through the crease. Outside the near circle, German has it, trying to pull that away as he's battling with Issel there. Still trying to poke. Here comes. Right into the slot. German has it. A corner of the far circle. Puck wouldn't settle down. There's a blast from Powers. Outside the near circle with it. McDonald trying to get it back to Mahone. Now Commutin trying to knock that away. Mahone keeping it in. But that sent all the way down the ice. Good job by McDonald to stop. An excellent opportunity for Chelsea as Issel was deep. And McDonald able to take it away. McDonald over the blue line. McDonald outside the far circle. McDonald goes back behind the goal underneath the near circle. Out in front. That goes right through the crease and along the far boards. Issel rockets it all the way back deep, and it's 43 seconds left on the Pioneer power play. 5:39 left to go here in the third. 5-2, Pioneer with the lead coming down the near boards. Here comes Mahone. That knocked away in along the near boards. Mahone has it at center ice all the way across to German. German. Now that tipped in along the near boards. Mahone on the near circle. Mahone outside the near circle, sends it back to the near point. Grabbed by McDonald. McDonald outside the near circle. McDonald, high slot. Now back over to Mahone. Mahone shot. That deflected right back behind McDonald. Back behind the Chelsea goal. McDonald tried to feed it out in front as there's a point-blank shot by Powers. Somehow Cochran able to keep it out of the goal. Great setup. Powers with a great shot, but Cochran, Josh Cochran with an even better save at 4:57. 5-2 remains the score. Face-off in the near face-off circle. At the Cochran's left, Miller in to take the face-off versus Barron. Picked up back behind. And trying to come ahead with it. Here comes Benjamin Alvey. Benjamin Alvey outside the far circle. Battle for it in along the far boards of the Pioneer zone. Miller has it into the far corner. That grab, now bringing it ahead. Here comes Gruber. Gruber over center ice. Gruber gains his own high slot. Gruber has that poke checked away. Shot by Miller, steered into the near corner. Puck outside the near circle. Pioneer couldn't quite hold it in. Chipped away. Good job by Kresge, trying to avoid pressure by Barrett. Battle for it outside the far circle. Centering attempt knocked down by Miller as they were trying to get it to Rance. Here comes Miller down the near boards over center. Ricochets it off the near board. That goes back deep into the near corner. Benjamin Alvey trying to knock that away. Miller into the near corner. Centering attempt. That goes all the way back to the far point. Kresge holds it in. Sends it over to Ryan Edwards. Now Perry trying to feed it down the far boards. Held in again. Kresge has it. Shot from the top of the far circle. The goal! Kresge fires it in as he took a blast from the top of the far circle. And unless someone tipped it, that should be a goal by Kresge. That at 3:50. Always great to get a little help from the blue line on the scoring. Kresge, a fantastic defender. Great shot from the top of the far circle. That makes it 6-2. Pioneer back to a 4-goal lead with 3:50 left to go. Brendan Stone in to take the face-off versus Brandt. Puck in along the near boards. Now Peterson trying to bring it in. Peters has it in along the near boards. Backhands it deep. Brendan Stone gets it outside the far circle. Brendan Stone Moves it right back behind the goal. Crawford has it there. Crawford underneath that far circle. Puck loose. Brendan Stone back behind the goal. Stops. Comes to the near side. Out in front. Trying to get to that puck. Slips in along the far boards. And Issel fires it all the way back deep. Gathered up by Andrianopoulos at the blue line. Loose there. Picked up by Peterson. Peterson moves it ahead down the far boards. There's a shot and a save. As Brendan Stone took a blast and Cochran with the save. 3:13 left to go here in the third. 6-2, Pioneer with the lead. So fantastic time getting to watch Pioneer here at Yost. It's the first time I've been able to call this Pioneer team here at Yost. Puck in along the far boards, loose. Is trying to get to it is Gagnon. Now Brendan Stone with a shot. Good save by Cochran into the near corner. Puck bringing it ahead. Here comes Chelsea. Is racing ahead with it is Perry. Perry gains his own. Perry trying to go wide. Far circle shot saved by Houston. Good job to clear it by Brendan Stone. Loose on that far or on the near circle. Garcia feeds it all the way down the ice. That is going to be icing and head back into the Pioneer end. Pioneer does get a line change though with 2:45 left to go here in the third. They have the 6-2 lead on Chelsea. Gagnon in to take the face-off on the near face-off circle. That's to Houston's right. As on the other side was German. Puck in along the near boards. Here, sorry, Commuton coming down the near boards. Commuton gains his own outside the near circle. Commuton centering attempt pulled away by Gagnon. Gagnon over his own blue line, bringing it ahead. Gagnon trying to get past. Good defensive play. Shot and a save by Houston. 2:26 left to go here in the third. 4-goal lead by Pioneer, 6-2. Face-off is going to be to Houston's left in the far face-off circle. McDonald in to take the face-off versus Brandt. And puck outside the far circle. Now chipped ahead, racing ahead with it. Commuton trying to get back to it first. Commuton onto the far circle. Commuton with a blast and a score! Commuton puts it in to put the icing on the cake and make it 7-2. That a 2:15 goal by Pioneer. This Pioneer team has the offensive explosive capability. They've shown it a few times this season. It seems to really be humming in the last several games. And puck brought ahead. Smith has it top of the far circle. Shot there and along the near boards. Crawford holds it in at the near point. Crawford feeds it outside the near circle. Gets it back. Backhanded shot goes into the far corner. Gold trying to get to it. Held in at the far point by Perry. Perry sends it outside the far circle. Crawford trying to move in with it. That's sent in along the near boards. Held in at the near point by Smith. 1 minute 48 seconds left to go. As Brandt trying to move it ahead. Now fed ahead by Mahone. Coming down the far boards. Loose on the far circle. Chelsea lifts it high back into the neutral zone. Knocked down by Commuton. He gains the zone after Pioneer clears it. Poke checked away. That blast just goes wide by McDonald. In along the near boards. Mahone holding it in. Still battling. And here comes Chelsea. Poke checked away. Great job by Bergman with a shot. That one loose. Bergman trying to get another shot from his backside. And some dedication as that comes in along the near boards. Mahone fires it back deep. Bergman trying to chase it with battling Perry. Now that blasted by Smith. Bringing it ahead. Here comes Chelsea racing down. Great save on the shot by Barron by Houston. Loose right in front. Mahone fires it ahead. Now knocked back. Ryan Edwards back to Mahone. Mahone into the far corner. 47 seconds left to go. Connor Edwards moves it over. Bergman trying to feed it ahead. Excuse me, that was Connor Edwards. Back in along the near boards. Connor Edwards peels it away. He's trying to avoid pressure by Chelsea. 32 seconds left. Puck down the far boards. Connor Edwards gets into the zone. 27 seconds left. McCullough Reese has it in along the near boards. Barrett now trying to bring it ahead with 18 seconds left to go. Down the near boards it goes. Kresge retreats back and gets it with 13 seconds left. Centering attempt brought in with a blast as that goes just wide. 7 seconds left in along the near boards. Ryan Edwards trying to poke it away with 3 seconds left. 2 seconds, 1 second as Houston steers it away, and that will do it. Pioneer wins by a score of 7-2 as they will move to 7-3 on the season. Again, check them out. The game on the 20th at the game at the 20th at Big B is at 5 p.m. versus Wyandotte Roosevelt. So check that out. We will be back on air tomorrow with Pioneer men's basketball, both JV and varsity. JV at 5:30, varsity at 7. For my camera person, Christina Wiseman, our director, Mike Butler, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you very much for watching, whichever team you root for. We are very, very grateful. Have a fantastic rest of your evening, and take care, everybody.